Greetings everyone, I'm Rishabh from Excel Next, and presenting before you is a wonderful combination of these formulas on your screen and which will fetch us data from three different dimensions. So we'll be talking about three-dimensional lookup using VLookup, match formula, indirect and range naming. So this is meant for users who already are aware of these techniques and formulas. Let's look at the business premise of the data. I have a certain list of employees, their salary, the division that they work with, the region under which they have been registered. So for example, APAC refers to Asia Pacific and ROW refers to rest of the world. Rating 1 is good, rating 5 is bad. The question is, based on rating, based on the division that the employee works for and the umbrella under which they have been registered, whether APAC or ROW, their bonus percentage must be fetched in column G. Now, what are the three dimensions? One dimension is rating, the second is division, and third being the region. Now, how do I incorporate this into the formula? I thought about writing the if statement, but the point of if statement is for every one combination of an answer, you'll have to write multiple if statements. And trust me, this is not the final answer. This is just for only 5 combination. If you have 5 into 8 divisions, 40 combinations here and 40 combination in the table below. So in total 80 combination, 80. You effectively cannot write that in if statement. Now how do I do this with VLookup and match? Now VLookup I can understand. VLookup will look for a certain rating, will go ahead and look into the database and tries to find out which column number will the answer be fetched from, and that column number will be given by match formula. But the point is, I need a redirection. What is redirection? Redirection is that if the employee belongs to APAC region, the VLookup match should be fetching the answer from table number 1 on the right. If the employee belongs to ROW or rest of the world, the answer or the VLookup match should fetch the answer from table number 2. Now first, I am going to use the naming, range naming concept to be able to write clean formulas. First, let me choose the entire table where I ensure the first column contains the common link of rating and the header contains the common link of division. I go to the name box. I give a name APAC. I press enter immediately. Henceforth, whenever I call APAC, it quickly takes me there. Excel knows who APAC is. Similarly, I go ahead and choose the entire header starting from the rating till the last division name and I name it APAC H. I press enter. Next, I choose the second table's data. Similarly, I give it a name ROW, row, and the heading, I keep the same naming convention, that is ROW followed by a simple H, enter. So now I have 4 names, as you can see from the drop down of the name box, APAC, APAC H, row, row H. Let me begin the formula VLookup match. VLookup, look for that value which is going to be present and being seen and being referred by VLookup in the first column. So look up for rating, comma. Currently, I just assume that I just have one table to refer to. Hence, I am referring to the range name APAC. So since I've named it, I can quickly refer the table, the entire table using the name APAC, comma. A column index number, of course I would be wanting to have the column index number from which the answer must be fetched, but I need to delegate this task to match. I'm putting a dummy placeholder as of now. I'll come back to this match formula. Let me press a comma because I need to finish the last parameter of VLookup, which says range lookup, and I pick up false given the fact that they are the exact match that's going to relate to the data. So I put 0 instead. It's equivalent of false. Now match looks for the division name, lookup value, one value, division name, comma, lookup array. Match will look for that division name in the heading. Now instead of choosing that heading, I can also write that name directly, APAC H, comma, 0. Now once I press enter, it will fetch the answer for APAC. But wait, if I write ROW, it doesn't change the answer. It doesn't fetch the answer from table number 2. Hence, I need a different mechanism which will allow me to redirect VLookup and match formula to the respective tables based on APAC or APAC-H. Now see this. First, I'm going to create a dummy column which contains APAC followed by a suffix called H. I double click at the bottom right of the cell to replicate that. Next, in place of APAC, let me put a formula called Indirect, immediately closing the bracket. What does Indirect do? It's going to redirect me to the appropriate range. So Indirect, please refer to this cell, APAC. This means Indirect formula goes to this cell and looks for a redirection, and since Excel knows who APAC is, it will redirect to the entire table on the first. In case this was ROW, it would have redirected the VLookup formula to the table given below. So similarly, I go to APAC-H, I put an indirect formula, I close the bracket, and this I generally do to avoid any kind of syntax error, thereby ensuring not missing any bracket closure or any parenthesis closure. I then place my cursor within indirect formula and choose APAC-H. Now match area of operation was just the header. Hence I'm relating APAC-H to match formula. Now notice, I put ROW in the region name and immediately the answer changes. And this is being fetched from table number 2 this time. If I want more accurate answer, I just increase 1 decimal accuracy. And as I double click, I get all the answers based on 3 dimensions. One is rating, one is division, and the third is based on the region. So if I change any of the 3 variables, let's say instead of HFD, I put CDFD, the answer is bound to change. It will. If the person is getting rating 1, answer changes. In case he belongs to APAC region, then also answer changes. Isn't that wonderful? So we used a couple of techniques all in combination. And this recipe is going to help you a lot in case you are trying to fetch the answer from different tables which possibly could be in different sheets. Just keep in mind, if you're using Indirect, you make sure the reference or the name to which it is referring to is in the same workbook. It cannot effectively pull the values from different workbooks. So hope you like the formula. Please pause the video, watch the video, practice, because it's going to be very useful in times to come. In case you want to know more about VLookup, why are we using false, how to use match, you can subscribe to my online program on Advanced Excel. It explains these concepts more in detail so that you'll be able to absorb the super advanced stuff. Thank you. Signing off.